allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we have the adoption of the agenda.
Move to approve the adoption of the agenda as presented.
Second.
Now you have to do that. I'll do the roll call first then.
There. There.
Here.
Adams.
Here.
Seacard.
Here.
Townsend.
Here.
Carpenter here. Williams.
Here.
Baker is absent.
Okay. Now, the adoption of the agenda, we got a motion in a second. I should have put my glasses on before I looked at that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, hearing none, unanimous. Next, we have the approval of the minutes of the March 7, 2023 regular meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of March the 7th, 2023, regular meeting as presented. Support.
Motion been made and supported. Everyone had a chance to review the minutes. Any questions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next we have the, under special orders, public hearing on a Amigo IFT district. Anyone who would like to speak in favor, could you come forward to the microphone?
Everyone, I'm Jordan with Amigo Mobility. We're looking to put up a 30,000 square foot addition over at our current building off to the east. The main point of this is we recently acquired a manufacturing business. We're going to expand our manufacturing for on-site to help vertically integrate. At the same time, our business has increased by about 50% this year. So we are expanding our production capabilities to be able to keep up with that. So it'll be mostly light manufacturing that we're looking at. I believe we also submitted the proposal for future additions long-term that we're looking at. But that's hopefully a ways down the road. Right now we're thinking the building will be about $4.5 million, and we're looking at additional machinery. We already purchased $200,000 of machinery with the tubing vendor, and have at least another $1 million of machinery that we're looking at over the next year to put in there. So that's all I got.
Very good, thank you. Great. Anyone else like to speak in favor?
Well, good evening, Mr. Supervisor and members of the board. I'm Joanne Crary, I'm president of Saginaw Future, and with me tonight is also Steve Hensley, our Community and Economic Development Director for Saginaw Future. So we have a contract with your DDA to do economic development for you. We've been working with Michelle McGregor and went over to Amigo, heard about their expansion. They've been located here for it's almost 40 years next year.
Oh, it's over 50 now.
1984, though, you started that location, and I know your grandpa was
Yeah, my
working
dad.
on this since the
68.
1968. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's been around for a while, but Bridgeport has always been their home and their headquarters. So as Jordan said, they've been growing like crazy. I mean, they have their Amigos in a lot of grocery stores, and I think is that most of where the development and expansion is coming from, although they are diversifying and starting to pull little airplanes and a lot of different things. So they have a lot of uses for it, and they're very creative. So the reason that we're here is because we're asking you to expand the industrial development district. So they bought property to the east, and it's not in the current district. So we needed to come in with a new legal description that adds that new property to the old property. And then once you take action on that, then they're eligible to apply for the industrial facilities exemption, which is, we now all know it as a tax abatement. In addition, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation decided to support this project as well, and they approved a 12-year, $6 million state education tax abatement. Now, I want to make sure that you know the local school's held harmless. It doesn't impact the school at all, but they take care of that at the state level, and they've already approved that. So in the letter, you probably saw it says $6.25 million. That includes the building and equipment, but equipment is not under a personal property tax anymore. Since 2015, they pay a special assessment for that. So again, it's been a real pleasure working with Michelle McGregor and Amanda Kerrigan, and we're happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Anyone else speak in favor? Anyone like to speak against? One more time, anyone want to speak against? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed. Next, we have a public hearing on the Amigo IFD certificate. Joanne pretty much explained that one. Again, anyone want to speak in favor of the IFD certificate? One more time. Anyone like to speak against? One more time. Hearing's closed. Next we have public comment. If you want to make public comment, could you step up to the microphone, please? Once more, anyone want to make public comment? Public comment now closed. Presentation, no committee reports on any business. Resolution R23-04, establish industrial development district, Amigo Mobility.
Make a motion to approve resolution R2304, establishing industrial development district for Amigo Mobility as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Can we have a roll call, please?
Adams,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Townsend,
Yes.
Carpenter, yes. Piker, absent. Secord,
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Next, we have resolution R2305, Amigo Mobility Facilities Exemption Certificate.
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2305, Amigo Mobility Facilities Exemption Certificate as presented.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Can we have a roll call on it too, please?
Williams,
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Townsend,
Yes.
Secord,
Yes.
Piker is absent. Carpenter, yes.
Next, under new business, we have the SPU special permit use of 2201, special land use, I should say, 6379 Dixie Highway.
Make a motion to approve special land use SPU 2201 at 6379 Dixie Highway, parcel number 09115153016001, represented by the planning commission.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. For those of you who might not know, this is the former hotel right by the expressway. What it's going to be is a Bridgeport behavioral health. It's going to be a 51-bed behavioral health facility that provides treatment for adults aged 18 to 64 years that exhibit acute behavioral problems, such as depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and distorted perceptions. All of the patients come from hospital emergency rooms such as Covenant Health, St. Mary's Ascension, and other hospitals in the near Saginaw area. The length of stay is 5 to 7 days, and the patients are discharged back to their homes, family, or group homes. While there, they will be seen by physicians daily who will participate in counseling and group therapeutic activities provided by the activity therapist, yoga therapists, social workers, that teaches them coping mechanisms to help keep a positive self-image. The units are secured by badge access, and patients will not be allowed outside the building during the stay. The patients are always monitored and accompanied by staff, such as registered nurses and other direct care employees within the units. The program will also help seniors that are residents of nursing homes. It is also important to note that they will not take patients that are incarcerated or need assessments of abuse and treatment. There were some rumors circulating that people have a tendency to confuse them with substance abuse centers or a building that houses incarcerated individuals, but they're not. We have a motion, please. Huh?
We have a motion, second.
I meant a roll call. Oh, I meant to say, sorry.
Okay. Thayer,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Secord,
Yes.
Townsend,
Yes.
Carpenter, yes. Mrs. Absent, Adams,
Yes.
Okay, next we have board appointments.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the recommended boards and commission appointments as presented.
Second.
What's been made and seconded. Just for, let me read the names. Park and Recreation Board. This would be under Bill, our Recreation Director. William Duke, Patrick Sharkey, Sherry McFarland, Shane Harrington, Lucas Showerman, and Eric Taylor. And opening on the DDA, Elena Darrow. She co-owns the golf course down the road. She's been active.
Excuse me, I forgot to remind you, or let you know that Lucas Showerman withdrew his application for health reasons.
Oh, okay, thank you, Tracy.
What's that again?
Lucas Showerman withdrew his application.
Oh, okay.
So everybody got that? We got it crossed off?
Yep.
It's 5, okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes. Next we have accounts payable.
I'll make a motion to approve checks number 70872 through 70989 in the amount of $798,437.95 as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Anyone have any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Passes. Okay, next we have the police report. We've got this here.
Good evening, everyone. We handled 692 calls for service for the month of March through Saginaw County Central Dispatch. Starting to warm up, that's up from 554 calls that we handled for the month of February, which is what we expect to have. And again, those are always posted on our constant contact and also on our Facebook page if you want some more breakdown. Got some good news. We've given a conditional offer of employment to a police officer who's currently working with a neighboring community. We're wrapping up her background and her physical, and hopefully they'll be introducing her next month to you all at the May board meeting. Also given a conditional offer of employment to another candidate whom we hope to enroll in the Delta Police Academy, the next academy, which will be starting in August. And again, we're going through his process right now with his background and whatnot. And we will be applying for a grant that will help to fund the academy cost and also a good portion of his wages while he's attending the academy. So it'll be the first time we've ever done that. If all goes well, after his graduation and completion, that'll bring us back up to full staff. Then just the last thing I want to pass on, again, as it warms up, our call volume is going to increase, and that's just what we need the public's help to be our eyes and ears. Please call 911 if you see anything suspicious. That helps us to direct our patrols and be out there in response to keep our community safe. Thank you.
Thank you. David talked to me about that before, and there's a lot of police departments doing that now, where they have a candidate that goes through the schooling and everything. So it's one of the ways it helps get more officers on the force. Oh, but we're told, well, next we have the fire department. Chief Amigo.
Good evening. Bridgeport Fire Department responded to 90 calls for service in the month of March, and that puts us at 317 for the year. This is actually down 50 calls, 50 from this time last year, so that is a good thing for us at the moment. Hopefully the trend tends to keep going down. Candidate down at Landon is due to pass, or he is going to pass his final exams next week. I have all the faith in it. So once he finishes those exams next week, he'll be a newly minted certified firefighter of the state of Michigan within probably about 2 weeks from now. So he'll be finally finished with his 6 months of training that proceeded today. And then we've also put on a new firefighter. We've actually sent him to physical. Anticipate that we shouldn't find anything issue there. We should be able to put him on within the next couple of weeks as well, once everything comes back and goes through an orientation. So we are putting yet another individual on. Hopefully that's the beginning of a very long time here with the fire department. Also want to put forth that we are in the midst of the time that people like to start the yard cleanups, and consequently many of our residents like to do controlled burns. I do ask that people take care with doing that, call in for the burn permits. The burn permit does not cost anything. It's really more of just checking to make sure that the time is right, the conditions are right, that we don't have a hold in place that would put a ban on burning because conditions are not good. And it also ensures that people know and understand the rules. Right? At least the assumption is when you call in for a permit. So that is going on right now. I'm hoping that this rotation of rain we've been having every few days is going to kind of keep those dry conditions at bay. We did have a fire last week along the highway, but hopefully that's a one-time deal and we have a good greening of the vegetation very soon and we can get up past this period. And one last thing, tomorrow we may have some thunderstorms that can be concerning. All I just put out there is please keep in mind from about noon to 8 o'clock tomorrow, be close to your phone apps, weather radios, TV outlets. Just kind of keep an eye on what's going on, just so that you're aware of any potential bad weather that could come through the area.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. I was going to do that. Michelle had a death in her family, so she's not here. She will be back for tentatively Thursday. While we're talking about reports, you know, understandably, we get calls about blight, and we get calls about trash and weeds and that kind of stuff. And Michelle put together working on that and looking at some of the open cases that we have, if you will. And we started putting out with our minutes when we post them online, the police report, the fire report, and how many runs they did, and where they are, that kind of thing, just so the residents kind of have an idea of what's going on. Had this put together. Going to try this out and put this out also as a report. I just got this today, so there may be a little bit of fine tuning. But basically the headings, I have my glasses on again. The headings would be dangerous, damage, dangerous and vacant buildings. We've got 14 calls. This could include buildings damaged by fire, property maintenance. This could include upkeep and cleaning of exterior property. We've got 15. Zoning. This could include parking vehicles in the grass, signage, fence installations, and swimming pools. Trash. This could include accumulation of junk, trash, rubbish, refuse, debris, garbage, including parts of machinery, motorcycle vehicles, unused appliances stored in the open or other materials. Tall grass and weeds. This could include tall grass and weeds that are noxious or the neglect of the lawn care maintenance. And then that gives you an idea of the type of calls that we get. And then next is a list of the date that they came in and the location, not the exact address, but the street. And then it'll give a heading of what the reference is, the complaint, if you will. If you're out and about and you see things like that, don't hesitate to call the township, let the girls know. It'll be logged, and they'll be out checking on those. And they've also gone out, one of them was out today, kind of running a certain area and checking on issues. Like we've got a lot of people parking their cars on the grass or in the yard, and we probably wrote about 7 or 8 letters today regarding that. Now, it's understandable, maybe if you get a lot of company, someone may park out of the grass or something, but that's, not going to give anybody a ticket for that. But, when they constantly park vehicles up in the front yard, like it's a parking lot or something, it is just not good, Who wants to see that in their neighborhood? And the same thing with tall grass, and it becomes even tougher like in the early spring because, probably you have the same problem I do. Sometimes I think I can stand there for a couple hours and watch the grass grow in the early spring, But this will just help by nudging some of these people to get some of the things taken care of. A lot of cases where I read a letter or stop by and have a conversation with them and they take care of the problem. Fine. Other times they talk to them, then they write them a letter, and they can go so far as write a ticket. And when they do that, then it's got to go to court. And the thing that happens with that is you write a ticket and go to court. It may not be 2 or 3 months before you get into court. Then you get into court and the judge says, okay, you've got 90 days to clean it up. But then the individual, the neighbors, if you will, then they're frustrated with the township because they didn't take care of it. But, so you're trying to explain that to them. In fact, one person one time, I said, well, tell you what I'll do, I'll give you the name of the judge, and you go to the courthouse, follow the judge out, and tell him, just taking care of it, tired. I don't think that would work well, but anyway, I understand people get frustrated. I do the same thing when I ride around the township, see some of the things going on. It's like, man, what's wrong with some people? Anyway, a couple other things, and then I'll get board comments. But we're going to have a Bridgeport Charter Township Earth Day community cleanup, April 21, 2023. It'll be 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Neighborhood cleanup, large item disposal at DPW. Items must meet guidelines for trash disposal, and proof of residence is needed. Volunteers needed, church groups, businesses, residents, meet at the fire station in the old Township Hall parking lot. Volunteers are encouraged to bring gloves and water. They will provide trash bags and safety vests. If you want to sign up, contact the Bridgeport Township DDA just by calling the township at 777-0940. This will be published on our website and also through constant contact. If any of you would like to get that information that aren't getting it, all you have to do is call the township and ask to speak to Tracy Bennett. Tracy sitting over there in Michelle's seat. And just give her an email address. You don't have to tell her who we are if you don't want to. Just give her an email address. And subsequent to that, then you'll start getting meeting notices, minutes of the meetings, DDA meetings, and all those kind of things. Plus, we send out informational stuff like this, so it's a good way, you know, to get that message out there. None of us had time to go door to door in the whole township telling people about this stuff. But, and if you're doing it and your neighbors aren't, suggest to them to do it also. The better we can get out a lot of this information, the better it probably work for all of us. Then the next would be a pancake breakfast with our county commissioner, Sheldon Matthews, better known as Snap. Sheldon Gregg will be here, some of the board members will be here. Amos O'Neill, our 94 District State Rep, will be here. Snap wanted to do this as a meet and greet, so the residents can come by and get some pancakes and some sausage or whatever, and meet him and have some conversation with him. Sheldon, you want to stand up so everybody knows who you are? Most everybody who comes to the meeting recognizes him, but great guy, I've known him for years. Sometimes he's a great guy. Yeah, I'll pay for that. That's going to be Saturday, May 6th, right here from 9 to 11. Again, that'll be sent out to constant contact. So with that, board comments? Randall? Gerald?
No comments.
Lee?
Yes.
Oh,
I commented to Augie and Michelle a couple weeks ago that I think Bridgeport needs to get out into the media. And here's an example, what Amigo is doing. Let the newspapers and the TV shows know what's happening here. Amigo is developing, we've got the hotel, people complain about that hotel all along. Well, something's happening. I think we need to get that information out there. I don't have an answer how to do it, but I think it needs to get out there. All the things that are going on in Bridgeport.
frequently we contact Bergeron, Bridgeport,
Yeah.
but they don't have that great circulation either. It's a nice paper. But just one thing I wanted to say too, I forgot to mention, talking about the facility going in at the old hotel. There are not many of those facilities around this area. And I think it'll be a really good thing because you know we have a lot of people who get into depression and those kind of things. And sometimes they have to, the families have to travel for 40, 50 miles to go visit them because there's not a facility nearby. So this will be a real help for this area to help alleviate that problem too. So I just, like I said, I was going to mention that, that's on the mind. So, okay, Jimmy?
No comment.
Calvin?
No comment.
Oh boy. I must have talked enough for all of them.
I think you did.
You didn't have to second that. Or I go home and listen to that. Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Support.
Motion been made, supported to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.